Welcome to Flex Friday. So today what's going to happen is we're going to use a little bit of time to review. The reason why we're going to review is because I'm going to give you a quick check quiz on Monday. This quiz will be worth 18 points. So this is going to be the next grade in your grade book. This is going to be one of the things that I can see. Are you understanding what I'm teaching? Is it making sense? Or do you need help with anything else? So to give you a little example of what's going to be on the quiz, I'm going to talk to you about the things that you're going to see. First of all, you're going to see a game. We learned how to play Name That Number. We've practiced it. It's on Everyday Math Online. Unfortunately for you guys aren't here to play it. Okay, but you still need to be exposed to it. So the way this works is you get a target number. So my target number is 12. Okay, and you are dealt 5 cards that you need to use to make the number 12. So these are the 5 cards that I am dealt. I'm dealt a 1, a 3, an 8, a 7, and a 4. Now, what I need to do is I need to be able to make the number 12 using as many of these cards as possible. Also, I need to make sure I'm using grouping symbols and orders of operation to help me out. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think, okay, how can I make the number 12? Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do, let me see. I could do 4 times 1 plus 8. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 8 is 12. Great. I use 3 cards and I use grouping symbols. Let's see if there's another way how to do this. I could do 7 minus 4, which is 3, plus 1, which is 4, plus 8, which is 12. I used 4 cards that time. So you're going to get a list of cards where you have to make 2 different expressions. So that is what I just showed you. I showed you 2 different ways to make the number 12. Now, could I have said 8 plus 4? Yeah, that would have worked. It wouldn't have been as much points, but it would have worked. You also could have done 3 plus 1 plus 8. 8 plus 4. And then you could also use multiplication if you need to. So I could go ahead and say 3 minus 1 plus 4. Oh, no, that doesn't work. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. 12. 4 times 1 times 3. Because that's also 12. So what's going to happen is you're going to get a list of cards, and it's going to give you the list of cards that you have, and it's going to give you your target number. And you have to come up with 2 ways to make that target number. It can be as simple as you need or as hard as you need. But you must use grouping symbols for one of the questions. So you can say 8 plus 4, that could be one of your answers. You also could have said an answer like this, where it says 4 times 1 plus 8. But you have to use grouping symbols on one of your answers. Let me say that again. You have to use grouping symbols on one of your answers. So you're going to get this test on, when you take this quiz on Monday, it's going to have the same cards, and it's going to have 2 answer boxes. You need to make sure you are writing your answers in those answer boxes. I will be checking to make sure that one of those has parentheses and one does not. Okay? If you want to use grouping symbols for both answers, that's fine. But you must use it for one. Okay? Now, the next thing that you're going to see on your quiz is going to be very similar to what we've been reviewing. It's going to talk about area. So finding the area, and it's going to give you a picture that looks a lot like this. And it's going to say 5 units by 2.5 units. And I did a video today, and we reviewed this all week, and I posted a couple things on the YouTube channel. Easiest way to do this is to go ahead and count your big boxes. Fine. Don't forget your halves. Fine. Or you can use the multiplication to help you. 5 times 2 is 10. And then I'm going to do 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2. So 10 and 5 halves. Your answer is going to be very similar to that. You might not have a fraction. You might just have a whole number, and that's okay. It also is going to ask you what a number sentence is. Remember, if it's 5 by 2.5, if it asks you for a number sentence, very, very easily, you can do length times width. You can say 5 times 2.5. By the way, these are not the exact questions. This is just to review. All right. So again, it's going to ask for a number sentence, and you can use this one. Now, if you want to say 5 times 2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2, okay. But make it easy, guys. Use length times width. Make it easy. Number 3 is going to be a problem. It's going to give you a problem that looks like this. 3 times 1 plus 4. And it's going to give you the same problem a couple of times. Only sometimes your parentheses will be here. Sometimes your parentheses will be here. Sometimes you won't have parentheses. So it's going to have you work the problem out different ways. So if I do this problem the first way, 4 plus 1 is 5, times 3 is 15. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 4 is 7. Same thing here, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 4 is 7. So it's going to give you different ways to do the problem. Make sure you are using order of operations. That one will be worth 4 points. There are 4 different questions. It also is going to give you a question that's something along the lines of this. And I don't need, I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to make my picture a little bit bigger. That way you can see me. So the next kind of questions is going to be something along the lines of, I'm filling my drink pouch box. And I can use bubble gum to fill it up, and it takes about 25 pieces of bubble gum. Or I can use cubes to fill it up, and it takes about 30 pieces of cubes. Explain to me why I had different volume numbers. Why wasn't it the same number? Well, the reason why it's not the same number is because pieces of gum are round and there's extra space around it. That would be a perfect answer. Pieces of gum are bigger or smaller than the cubes. Great answer. The cubes are squares and stick together closer and don't have extra space. Great answer. So any of those answers would have been perfect. It's then going to ask a question about which is easier or better to measure volume of a rectangular prism. So if I'm measuring a box or a cube or like my little flavor box or an art pouch, an art box, what's going to be the easiest thing to use to measure volume? Should I measure with yoga balls? Should I measure with ping pong balls? Should I measure with beans? Would it be easier to measure with cubes? What do you think is going to be better for a rectangular prism? The little ping pong balls or cubes? What's going to be the better choice? This is where you're going to have to think of your reasoning. If you say cubes because there's less empty space, Or you say balls because they fit in there better? That's a big hint. Think about what your answer might be. And I'm pausing so you can write these answers down. You can rewind. That's the good thing about having it on a video. In class, you couldn't rewind, but on here you can. So if you didn't understand it or didn't get it, rewind. Watch it again. The next thing you're going to get is going to be very similar to the lesson that we did in lesson 1.8, where you had to find the volume of the rectangular prism and it gave you boxes. Make sure that you really think about how many boxes are on that first layer and how many layers there are total. Or you can find the length, the width, and the height. Whatever is easiest for you, you need to do. It says compare the strategies that you use to find the volume of these boxes. Okay. And then finally, it gives you a picture and it gives you the length, the width, and the height. And you just have to find the answer. The way that you find that is by multiplying. You multiply length times width times height. So write these notes down. This is your lesson for the day. Make sure that you did extra math. Make sure that you are enjoying your time and playing those math games. I have Freckle and I have Prodigy, and not many people are using them, and I can tell. So log in and do those games. And thirdly, if you have questions, your quiz is Monday. If you have questions, you need to ask for a meeting, ask for a video, or message me today so I can help you. Okay? All right, guys, have a great weekend. I enjoyed working with each and every one of you, and I can't wait to see what next week brings. Make sure you're getting everything turned in, guys. I'm checking. Bye.